It is Christmas time here in the Florida and greater upper reaches of Canada. And Templar, before we get moving, I've had a question that's burning in my soul, and that is, what is the canonical Grinch for you? Which one is it? Is it the very first animated one?
The 60s animated one. Yeah.
Okay, so that's the one for you. That's the one, like, if you had to at Christmas time and you had to choose one to watch, that's the one you'd watch.
Yeah, we usually do. Like, my wife and I don't have a lot of traditions in terms of we watch certain movies, but that one, like, we watched Charlie Brown a week or two ago, and we will watch that one.
Okay.
That I grew up watching it. That one and like Rudolph, the like claymation one.
Yep.
I don't know if it's actually claymation, but I think it is. The one I love. I've watched that one less, but yeah, I don't mind any of the versions of the Grinch, to be honest. Like, I think they're all solid. I mean, Jim Carrey just absolutely, like, a Herculean effort carries his, which is like an okay movie, but he is incredible in it.
Yes.
And then the new animated one is fine, which I see in your background, and I was laughing at earlier.
Yeah,
on the reef, the loop,
the go time just on a loop. I don't like this one personally, the Benedict Cumberbatch one. In fact, I understand it's good. This has nothing to do with Pharrell or anything like that. You know, the music is fine. Personally, I prefer the animated one because I grew up on it. That being said, the Jim Carrey one. There's and I don't know if you're part of this TikTok or Instagram algorithm, but down here at Universal Studios, there is a guy who is the Grinch for the entire month of December, and because they open up the Grinch's whatever, and he is so good. He is doing a modern adaptation of the Jim Carrey one. And it's just his thing, and he's yelling at kids. The kids are coming up and saying 6, 7, and he's saying 8, 9. Just stuff like that. Like, he's very, very good at it, and it has brought me to this place of like, man, the Grinch is like a thing now. It didn't used to be a thing, but not like in the past like 4 or 5 years, it's become a thing again, and I'm pretty happy about it. Like, I don't mind the Grinch, man. I think he's got some lasting things to say about holidays, Christmas. I don't know. There's something in there. Speaking of Christmas and movies and all sorts of things, I'm trying to make the segue here, and it's tough because I didn't think about this one before we got into it. We've done our top fives already. We've done the top 5 books we've read this year. We've done the top 5 things we've played this year. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are into the top 5 things we have watched this year, and they might not have been released this year, so deal with it. We've got a lot going on. We've been reading a lot more and playing video games. That's what we're doing this episode. And so we've picked out 5 things that we have watched. They're in a rough order. I would assume Templar and I are going to share a couple because we did spend many episodes talking about a couple of the shows that are on my list, at least. And they're, mine are all TV shows. Do you have movies in your list?
I have one movie on mine. The 4 are TV shows, though.
Okay, cool. Let's start out with number 5 for you then, Templar. From 5 to 1, what is your 5th thing that you have watched this year?
So this was as your very concise title suggests. I struggled a little bit with this because, and I got to a list that I'm ultimately happy with, but I didn't watch a ton of new stuff this year, so it was a challenge. So my 5th one is The Last Frontier.
Oh,
which is something I've talked about recently.
Yeah,
and is good. So that, like, it made it on the list again because I just didn't watch a ton of new stuff, and I wanted to make it stuff that actually did come out this year, which I don't always worry about that, but I wanted it to be stuff that at least did come out this year. So it's a solid show. If you like sort of crime, like we're tracking people down, investigation, mystery box type of stuff, it's a solid show. It's not a masterpiece, but especially the fugitive stuff I think is good. Jason Clarke I think is really good in it. And the other main, like the other principals, I don't know, there's the female lead and then there's another male lead, and they're both also very good. it's not perfect. I think some of the directions it goes in terms of like some of the meta narrative stuff is not the most interesting to me, but I like it as a show just about like tracking down fugitives, and there's some interesting stuff with this guy, and I like the setting. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, it's the guy from Preacher. He's one of the other main characters, and he's very good into it. Good in the movie, or in the show, even if I'm not totally into what they're doing with him. So it's a good show. I think it's worth checking out. It's like 8 or 9 episodes, and that's it. So it's not that long. And I would say if you're looking for something, it's solid, but it's not like a masterpiece necessarily.
Okay, that's The Last Frontier. My number 5, let me refer to my listo over here as I pull up all of the things. Where the heck did my list go? Stalling for time. There it is. My number 5 is a show called Paradise. Paradise is, I think we've talked about Paradise in this show, maybe briefly. Paradise was a show that caught me off guard. It's got the dude from Sterling K. Brown, the dude from This Is Us in it, and from other things. He's been in a decent amount of other things. Paradise, I don't know how to put this, man. I don't want to give any spoilers away. It is one of those post-apocalyptic shows. Something has happened, go figure, and you get to walk through the thing that has happened. But it's also like there's a president the president of the United States gets murdered in the very first episode. And then you got to figure out like what is going on in this whole thing. And you know, it's very good. There's a little bit of a mystery box thing to it. There's a definite, family aspect to it that me as a dad, I really appreciate. But other than that, I like Sterling K. Brown, man. I think he's a great actor. He's jacked. He's a good-looking dude. He holds a gun very well. Like I have nothing but love for this guy. What I will say though is that it's a show that kind of dips a little bit. This is why it's my number 5. There's a couple of episodes right in the middle that you're like, are we just marking time? Like, what's happening here? And then it picks back up, and then the end of it definitely sets up for season 2. And there is going to be a season 2, which I very much appreciate because there are a couple of answers there. There's a little bit of a mystery happening as well towards the middle and end of it that you need to figure out. And I don't know, it's good. I highly recommend it. It's on Disney Plus, maybe? Yeah, Disney Plus. Hulu, which I think is going away. So yeah, and it got an 86 on Rotten Tomatoes. It's pretty good. So yeah, Paradise. Highly recommended. Good job. How about your number 4 there, Mr. Templar?
Number 4 is Foundation.
Yeah, okay.
And this is one I'm cheating a little bit on because there was a season that came out this year. I have not watched that season, but I was watching the show earlier in the year. So I watched season 1 and then almost to the end of season 2 early this year, and season 3 came out, but I kind of just fell off the show, not because I wasn't into it, but just I moved on to something else. So I'm cheating a little bit on this one, but the new season did come out this year, and I was watching it this year, so I counted it. It's hard sci-fi.
It's like the hardest of
sci-fi stuff. So if you're not into that, I mean, the concept, and this is like right away, so it's not any kind of spoiler, but the concept of this show is basically based on they use math to predict what's going to happen essentially in the future, and they try to make decisions. The character, Jared Harris's character, is trying to set something up to keep certain future events from happening or to limit their impact. I don't want to say too much, but it's based around him using this very complex math equation essentially to sort of predict, they call it psychohistory, to predict what's going to go on and what decisions to make in that. When it was I had it recommended to me. I was part of a Discord that was like a book club Discord. It was all around book discussion. And I asked someone about it because it's not a show that I had heard much about. And because I asked, like, what's the vibe of it? Is it like more philosophy? Is it politics? Is it like action? And they said everything, like it's kind of got everything, which is a lie. The show does not have any meaningful action. The hand-to-hand combat is some of the worst I've ever seen on television. It's truly awful. Like, there is not a lot of it, thank goodness, and it's not the focus of the show. But the first couple seasons have a little bit of hand-to-hand combat, and it's truly terrible. Like, the choreography is awful, and there is almost no space combat to speak of. Now, I don't sound like I'm selling it at all, but the performances are great. And it's great. It's excellent at what it's trying to do, which is it's not trying to be a sci-fi action show. It's trying to be a sci-fi philosophy, political maneuvering. We're trying to kind of save the galaxy. There's a lot of complex relationships going on, complex interactions. The world building is excellent. The production value is excellent. So there's a lot of highlights, but do not go in expecting any meaningful or good action. It's just not what the show is trying to be. It's not the focus in any way whatsoever. Now, maybe season 3 is different, but for the first 2 seasons, it's not. And I am going to watch season 3 at some point here. But so in terms of like what they call like a thinking show, a thinking man sci-fi, it's very good. In terms of like a sci-fi action series, it's not that. So don't watch it for that. But for what it is, I think it's really excellent.
I like Lee Pace. I think he's a great actor. I like Jared Harris. Have you ever watched, speaking of Lee Pace, have you ever watched Halt and Catch Fire?
No, I have not.
So I would love at some point to go. I don't know how into that type of show you'd be, although it's just it's a television drama, but it's all about kind of the rise of IBM and like computers back in the 80s. Very good. Season 4 is a little interesting, but it's very good. It's got people that you've seen in it, Mackenzie Davis and Carrie Bichet. Obviously Scoot McNairy, he's been in it, and Scoot's like, I feel like Scoot's been in everything. He's always like a character actor in all of these things. But anyway, it's a very good show. Lee Pace is Joe McMillan, who's like the main character in it, or one of the main characters. So highly recommend that show. We're not talking about, though. I didn't watch that this year. Lee Pace looks very buff there great, dude. Put a shirt on. Foundation, season 4. Love it. It's on my list to watch. It's just, man, I got to be in the mood to watch hard sci-fi. Like, I love Dune, but I got to be in a mood to watch Dune. And I love like some stuff like maybe not the 100. I like stuff like that, but man, I gotta be in the mood for it. Are you that way, or are you able to just watch sci-fi whenever?
I'm generally pretty into sci-fi, but I mean, Dune also has a decent amount of action in it. This doesn't, right? So like, yeah, fair. Again, it's very much fairly slow. We're putting stuff together. We're planning for the future, politics, maneuvering, relationships. It's very well done, but it is very much its own thing. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. That is Foundation, ladies and gentlemen. For my number 4, we have a show called Pluribus. Pluribus? Let me just type it because I'm not going to be able to. Pluribus. Now, this show kind of came out of nowhere. I had heard nothing about it. And then it's by Vince Gilligan. Vince Gilligan obviously was the creator of Baking Bad. Baking Bad is the newest British Bake Off show. It's all about burnt cookies. And Better Call Saul. It does not have a Better Call Saul vibe to it. Definitely does not. It definitely does not have a Breaking Bad vibe to it. The premise is, what if there was a bacteria that got into some stuff that took over essentially almost all of the world's population and left a certain amount untouched. And this bacteria allows people to communicate psychically with each other. And the main Rhea Seehorn, from Better Call Saul, she is the main character. And she, like, I didn't necessarily like her at first. Her name's Carol Sturka in the show. I didn't like the first episode or two. I was like, all right, she's a little too miserable for me. But then you start to get it, and the play between her miserableness and then kind of everybody in the world is just now happy. They all share one brain. They all know everything. The way they kind of play it is very interesting to me. There's only one episode left, so this might fall off my list. There is one that releases this Friday. Spoiler, we're recording this on Tuesday, December the 16th, so I'm not going to get into any of the other things of it. But I highly recommend the show. It's very good. It's very well done. It's Apple TV. Like these shows just drip money. Like there's just money that just pours out of the screen. I think you and I are probably going to share another Apple TV episode here pretty soon. We've talked about Apple TV. They're consistent, like per capita, they're putting out bangers. Netflix just has the shotgun approach. We're just going to put everything out, and now we're going to buy Warner Brothers and just put out whatever HBO has. Apple like seems a little bit more considered about what they put out, and this is one of the things that I'm going, yeah, I'm interested in the show. I don't know that I'm like the biggest fan of it, but it has been one of those that I haven't been able to put down for the last couple of weeks, and that's good. So good on you, Pluribus. And Pluribus, by the way, means many, which I think is very funny. That's in Latin, so it plays into the show. But all right, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is the one movie that's on my list, which is Frankenstein.
Like the original Frankenstein?
The new one, the one that just came out a month or two ago, the Guillermo del Toro one.
Yeah.
I didn't watch a lot of new movies this year. That was one. Superman was one, which wasn't going to make this list. And Jurassic World Rebirth was one, which also was definitely not going to make this list.
No.
So Frankenstein, I thought it was really excellent. I talked a little bit about it on the show on a previous episode. Visually gorgeous, as you would expect from Guillermo del Toro. Performances are great. Oscar Isaac just absolutely killing it, showing why he's the one person who's had a career after the new Star Wars, like coming out of the new Star Wars stuff. I'm blanking on the guy's name, but also the guy who plays the creature does a really excellent job in what is like
Jacob Elordi.
Yeah, in what is an extremely difficult, I think, and pretty demanding role. He absolutely kills it. It's just a gorgeous movie. It's well written. It's pretty faithful to the original novel, which is not easy to do. Yeah, it's just great. Like I think it checked all the boxes. It's a little long, and it leans fairly heavily into philosophy. There's also a fair bit of light body horror stuff, as you would sort of expect from a Frankenstein movie, as they're putting the parts together and the different stuff. So like there's certainly some things that people need to be aware of that they might be sensitive to. But yeah, it's really excellent, and I think pretty faithful to the messaging of the novel as well, which is interesting to see. And then, aesthetically, of course, with Del Toro, as I said, you can't go wrong. His movies are always going to look good. Whether they're going to be good or not is a different question, but they're always going to look good. So yeah, Frankenstein, I had a really good time with it. My wife and I watched it, and we both liked it. I was more into it than she was, but I had a really good time with it. So
did you read the book?
I did. I read it in high school, so it's been a while. It's on my list to reread, on my sort of list of classics. I've been wanting to reread it, but I haven't taken it on to reread it yet.
Christoph Waltz, I love that guy. He's so good.
Yep. Yeah, cast is great, top to bottom, really good performances.
Yeah, it's 2.5 hours, so that's a lot of body.
It's long.
Yeah,
it's long. Yeah.
For my number 3, it's going to be Silo, specifically the newest. Is this on your list, Silo?
It is, yeah.
Okay. Well, what number is it? Is it number 2 or number 1 for you?
It's number 1 for me.
Okay. Well, let's store that up, and we can talk about Silo in just a little bit then. Yeah. What's your number 2 here?
What's your number 2 would be the question.
My number 2 is Task.
Oh, okay. Sure. That's not on my list. You told me about that one, but I haven't watched that yet.
Okay. So let's go to your number 2, and then we can talk about Task in a minute, and then we can get back to Silo.
Well, my number 2 is probably your number 1, if I'm guessing, which is Severance.
Oh, no, it's not at all.
Oh, Severance isn't in your top 5?
No, it's not.
Oh, okay. Well, my number 2 is Severance then.
Okay. Great.
Interesting. I thought you were higher on Severance than I was.
We can. Okay, go ahead, and we can talk about it. But go ahead.
Interesting. I wasn't expecting to lead the conversation on this show. I think it's a really interesting. I thought you were more into this movie, this show than I was.
I'm into it. It's
a very interesting sci-fi premise. I think a lot of the ideas it's dealing with are really cool. It's something I hadn't seen before, which in sci-fi is noteworthy because a lot of sci-fi ideas are pretty heavily regurgitated. So this was an interesting one. I think it's going in interesting directions in terms of the outside versus inside stuff, and they've kind of slow played the reintegration, which I appreciate. We're only being able to see kind of halves of the story. The performances are excellent. The aesthetics of it are top notch, as you again expect from Apple TV.
Apple TV, yep.
And yeah, I really enjoyed it. There are parts of it that are a little weird for me, and we talked about it. There are aspects of it I'm not as into, but I think top to bottom, it's just such a well done show, and I'm so into the overall vibe of it that it ended up landing pretty high for me. Despite that I had to have some issues here and there with the tone or with some of the decision making, but yeah, it's just an excellent show. The mystery around it is awesome. Weird enough to be interesting, but not so weird that it's off-putting for the most part, at least anyway. So yeah, I really enjoyed Severance.
It is it is literally my number 6. If we would have done a top 10, it would have been my number 6. I had a reckoning with this show after listening to, again, you and I off air, we talked about having to do homework for shows and movies, and that's one of the reasons. I was doing a little bit of homework on this, and maybe I got burnt out on it. I was really, 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 like, you and I did an entire episode or an entire series on all of these episodes, and we did recaps and all sorts of stuff. And so I think I got a little burnt out, but also I kind of got tired of, and maybe this is just me getting older and not having as much time to do things. I'm getting a little tired of the drip feed of shows. They could have done away with probably 2 whole episodes in this season and still been fine. It felt a little drawn out. It felt a little intentionally red herring you, like Lost. And I love Lost. Lost is one of my top 5 shows of all time. But Lost also does the thing of, we're just going to throw a bunch of red herrings and then you figure it out. Like, I don't know, you figure out what that means. And Severance has that feel a little bit. It answers a lot more than Lost ever did, I will say. And there's still some questions hanging over the next season that we'll get in 2029 or whenever the next season comes around. But by and large, I like the show. I agree with everything you said. Like the aesthetic, the vibe, the music, even just the creepiness, the creepy factor. I feel like I had to talk you into watching this show, and maybe that's not true, but I feel like I had to kind of pull you along. And then once you did, it was like hook, line, and sinker. Like, hey man, we're going to talk about this. I think Dyken Lockman does great. Obviously Christopher Walken and John Turturro, Trammell Tillman. I mean, the dude won Best Supporting Actor, I think. Yeah, I mean, he won awards for it, like, and of course Adam Scott just knocks it out of the park. It just, it's my number 6. Like, I'm unapologetic about it. I think something like Silo was a little bit better in terms of the mysteries that it solved, and it was a little bit faster. It felt a little bit less, we're just going to lay down crumbs for you to follow, and instead it was like, hey, here's a crumb, but like, let's answer it. And I guess we can move into Silo too, because it's well, no, I don't want to move into Silo yet. I want to save that. I'm going to save that like a piece of chocolate for the end of the meal. Anything else on Severance before we move into my number 2, which is Task?
Nope, I'm good.
So Task, I talked about it a couple episodes ago. Task, I really enjoyed it. I didn't think I was going to enjoy it when my wife and I first started watching it. Task, what it is it's just on the outside of Philadelphia. It takes place. It's Mark Ruffalo and it's Tom Pelphrey, and Mark Ruffalo plays like an ex-priest who is kind of like an alcoholic, and he's works for the FBI, and he's charged with taking down this kind of like gang, and the gang is headed up by Tom Pelphrey and his people, and Tom Pelphrey's crew is robbing drug lords, essentially, which is kind of like a weird twist. It's really heartfelt. Like, there's a lot of really good family moments. Tom Pelphrey plays a family guy, but also like a crook very well. All the accents are really good. Like the scene is just like it's very scenic. It really does take you into the heart of like Pennsylvania. Like it's just it feels very rural. There's a biker gang. Like the action in it is good. There's a decent amount of like violence, not in like a gory body horror way, just like it's good. Like it's well done. The performances in it are great. I mean, obviously Mark Ruffalo is great, and Amelia Jones is the one to me that steals the show. Now Amelia Jones she was in Coda, but I've never seen her before. Coda was the thing that won. It was like an Apple TV movie that won awards for somebody that was deaf, hard of hearing, or whatever. It was so good. She did so good. She's British and she plays this like this like deep Pennsylvania accent so well. I don't know. For me, it's a really, really good show. And I'm anxiously awaiting season 2 because they leave a couple things unanswered that are good things to leave unanswered. But also if they canceled it and just said like, hey, we're not gonna do another season, like you'd be satisfied with it. And there's not TV isn't doing that a lot lately. I feel like series right now are doing the thing where they're almost coaxing the showrunners to be like, you need to give us another season, or the show producers like, you need to give us another season because like the internet wanted us to answer this question, and it's like, no, not they really didn't. Another show that was my number 7 was The Pit. The Pit does this same thing. The Pit is a very, very like awesome show, awesome hospital show. It did the same thing where like, if this was the only season it did, awesome. Go win all your awards, baby. Go swim in your money, baby. Do your thing. But it also, there's like 1 or 2 questions that like, oh, you could do a season 2. And in fact, they are doing a season 2. So yeah, that's Task. I highly, highly recommended there. You want to talk about Silo now, finally?
Sure. Yeah, we can talk about Silo. So Silo, to me, it just kind of checked all the boxes. Like, as you say, compared to something like Severance, it's a show that absolutely presents a mystery, but it doesn't. It gets to it. Like it doesn't lead you on forever. It doesn't drip feed you. I think it's a good pace, and the mystery, there's still questions to be answered in the show, but overall, like it sets up a really interesting world. The performances are excellent. Again, production value. I mean, I think almost all these shows have been Apple TV shows. Like they're really, I mean, as you say, they tend to produce stuff that's very good, very high quality. Mm-hmm. It's a sci-fi post-apocalyptic dystopian setting that is really interesting, that again does have a lot of questions. Rebecca Ferguson is awesome in it. I think all of the main Common's very good in it. Yeah, again, it looks awesome. I like where season 1 and then season 2 go. I think the directions they take are really interesting, and I'm really excited for the next season of it. I'm very much looking forward to see where it goes from here. And my wife and I both really enjoyed it. We both were kind of excited for it. And one of the few cases that I think it's better than the book. Like, I think
yes.
The book is fine and takes a very different approach. The show and the book are drastically different from each other beyond premise. Mm-hmm. But I think the show is better. I think it does a better job. I think it's more interesting. I think it's deeper. Yeah, it's just excellent. I really enjoyed it, and I'm excited for what's coming in the show.
Yeah, this show led me to read the books. And you're right, the books are mostly different. All 3 of the books. I personally, I prefer the story that the show is telling, and that we haven't seen the next season and where they're going to go with some of like the outside the silo stuff, where it hinted at the before times, which is where book 2 goes anyway, is the before times, and it's mostly like book 2 and book 3 are essentially about the before times, and then how it crosses into silo times. Have you read the other 2 books?
I kind of stopped in the middle of book 2. Okay. It really wasn't doing anything for me.
No, I powered through it just because I needed to see how it finished. I can't say especially book 3, I didn't really enjoy it. But like in the books, like these two, I can't remember his name. They're together, and George, no, not George. Why can't I freaking remember his name? Here, we're gonna figure this out. Rebecca Ferguson's character, and then no, that's not at all what I wanted to do that at all. Juliet and Lucas are together, like they're a couple, and Juliet is a little more hard-nosed in the books, and she's a little bit less understanding in the books. And I think in the shows and it might just be Rebecca Ferguson being just an amazing actress. She like, I didn't know who she was until Mission Impossible, and she just crushes it, and she crushes Silo, and she crushed the Greatest Showman, and just she's great, man. But she does such a good job. And the one thing I will say about Silo that is not like, so for example, like Severance, they do a good job of making you care about what's happening in the outside world, but not to the point that you need to go do homework about it. Like they're asking a question and then they're answering it. Like the question they ask about Solo, like who is Solo? They answer it in the very next episode. And like, hey, what's going on with like why is Common all of a sudden like fighting for the insurgents? They answer it in the next episode. Like there's stuff that just like that just drops. And I again, I don't need to have hooks into every other thing. Like just give me the gosh darn show. That's all. Just give me the show. And like let me escape for 35 or 45 minutes into the show, and then cool, I'm out. Like that's good. Anything else on Silo?
Nope.
Okay. My number one is Andor.
Yeah, I completely forgot about Andor, honestly. I was just thinking about it now. I'm like, what is his number one?
Yeah.
I completely forgot about Andor. Yeah.
Yep.
It's a good call.
Andor, we have talked so many hours about Andor on this show. And so you can go back and watch all that stuff later. In the reimagining and re-looking at my list of this year, like Andor is just by far and away the best show. It is, there's a couple of little stumbles in there, but like, man, it is just so good. The acting, the look, the storyline that's being told, the way that it even ends. And yeah, it felt a little rushed to get to the ending. Like the last episode was kind of like, that's one of the stumbles, like, it could have been better. But like at the same time, literally like Cassian's ship is flying. We know that in the movie he's going to die. And then you open up into Rogue One and that ship is like coming into focus. Like it's just so cool. Like it just, they did such a good job of making a Star Wars galaxy, not a Star Wars show. There wasn't, and you and I talked about in one of the preview or teasers where like, oh man, they're putting Star Wars into my not Star Wars show. Like they're putting X-Wings and TIE fighters and stuff in here. And like, there was one TIE fighter and it was used as like an escape vehicle. And that was it. There was one episode where they were trying to turn the TIE fighter because they were on Yavin and there was some rebels, and just go watch it. But that was it, man. And like it just, I don't know. I have nothing but good things to say about the show. I'm really, really sad that they canceled it. And also I'm kind of happy that they canceled it because they were forced to think a little bit more creatively about how to tell this story. And I think overall it lands. It's a solid like 9 out of 10 for me. What do you think about Andor?
Yeah, I kind of forgot about it, to be honest. Again, I kind of struggled putting this list together. It's funny how long ago it feels like. I could have just went back through our own episodes and I could have found it. It probably would have made my list. It probably would have been like number 4 or something, though.
Sure.
I liked it. I didn't think it ended that strong. I think it kind of maybe didn't fall on its face is too hard, but I thought the ending was pretty weak. And the season in general suffered from how much ground they had to cover. I agree that I think given the circumstances, they probably did as much as they could and handled it about as well as you could expect to cover. They certainly did a better job than like Rome or something like that, of like similar show that got canceled and then had to try to tell multiple seasons worth in one season.
Yeah.
Yeah, the performances are very good. Again, like the production value is awesome. I think the story is interesting. There were unexpected characters in it that grabbed me in a way like I just wouldn't have thought they like. There were characters that grabbed me unexpectedly, I should say, that I wouldn't thought I'd be attached to. So very good show. Should have probably made my list. Probably would have been a bit lower down. But yeah, very well done. And the best Star Wars show, I think, probably by far, right?
Oh, that's not even close. Like there's not even an argument.
Yeah. So
I think the only argument could be, well, it didn't have any lightsabers in it. Yeah, okay.
That's probably honestly for the best.
Yeah, like it's fine. I agree with you. The push and the pull of having to cover that much ground. I think what they did with every year was 3 episodes. I thought that was like it was mini arcs, and it held true to what Andor in season 1 did, where it was a couple of mini arcs. I like that type of storytelling. That's fairly creative. It feels like Lord of the Rings almost. And I'm by no means equating Andor to Lord of the Rings, so don't hear me say that. But Lord of the Rings has 3 giant tomes, but there's mini arcs inside of those tomes. You know, you've got, especially in book 2 and book 3, like you've literally got something happening on the other side of the world, and these stories are happening kind of simultaneously. That's what this almost was aping. The coolest thing, though, that I think that happened with Andor is that it showed, hopefully, we'll see if it actually did it. It showed Disney that, hey, they can make Star Wars stuff be a little bit more aware of what it is, instead of just leaning into the tropes of like, the Force and the X-Wings and all of that. Like, I hope it at least showed them that they can make something that's a little bit more savvy and a little bit more cinematic, instead of something like, we're going to do Mandalorian Part 5 or whatever. Like, we're just going to put a helmet on this guy and call it a day. Okay. That's all I got to talk about. And do you have any honorable mentions for this?
No, I mean, I struggled to get this list together in the first place. I don't think so.
I have a couple of honorable mentions. I'm just going to put honorables. Parks and Rec. These are things that we watched this year. I just was going back through and just remembered how good of a show Parks and Rec is, just top to bottom, just so good. Went through a couple of seasons of it, just sitting on the Peloton, on the bike, on the exercise bike, just to like spin my legs out. Just such a good show. The West Wing, also doing the same thing. Man, what a good freaking show. It's just good. It's just solid writing up till about season 4. It's just great. And then I kind of stopped watching at that point. And then The Pit. We talked about The Pit already, but great show. Did you guys watch The Pit, or you haven't gotten there yet?
We did. No, yeah, The Pit was very good.
Yeah. They wrapped up again with a couple of like little things that they could do for the next season, and they've already filmed, I think, the next season, and it's already like on the way, I think. The Pit season 2. Let's see what it does. Oh, the trailer already came out. Oh, literally 2 hours ago, the trailer came out. Well, how about maybe we do a reacts on that. Cool. We'll have to watch that. But anything else before we wrap up here? Wrap up our year of top 5s.
No, I think that'll do it.
It's been a fun year of media. Thanks everybody for staying tuned. Next year, we've got some interesting things planned already. We're hinting at a book club that you will be able to join us in on. We'll have to talk more in detail about that. Looks like we're going to be talking about The Pit, and it looks like we're going to be talking about Supergirl a little bit. If you don't know what we're talking about, you can catch the latest episode. It'll pop up over my face here in a second. You can watch that episode where we're not the hypest on the new Supergirl trailer. Spoiler. Sorry, it is what it is. But yeah, anything else before we wrap up this episode, Templar?
No, I'm good to go.
Cool. Love you guys. Have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year if we don't see you before then. And until then, that's dang it, every time. That's Templar. I'm Chino. Goodbye.